What's up everybody, this is Derek here and welcome to an update video. In an earlier video on this channel we unboxed and I gave my initial impressions on the $12.50 to $13 Microsoft Surface Pro 3 or 4 charger, and that is this guy right here. And I had mentioned in that video that I was going to do an update where I ran a intense program that used a lot of power while the battery was drained on the Surface Pro 3, and I'm running Civilization 5. I've been running it for, I only got to turn 35, but I've been running it for about an hour and 15 minutes now. The battery started out around 60% charged, so that should give it plenty of headroom. And I've basically just been letting the tablet run. I haven't been monitoring it. And I want to find out how hot the charger got, and I want to find out if it charged the battery at all. So this is obviously a cheap third-party charger. My original charger, the cord became damaged, it frayed, and I decided to go the cheap route for a replacement and see how it worked. So as you can see here, Civ 5 is running, and you can probably hear the fan. Because this is quite an intense program. So we're going to put this over here, and first we're just going to measure the temperature of the AC adapter. So this, like I said, Civ's been running for about an hour, a little over an hour at this point. So that should be plenty of time to get the adapter nice and hot, and we'll see how hot it gets with this infrared thermometer. Nothing special, just a standard run-of-the-mill infrared thermometer. And hopefully the camera will focus and we'll be able to see what it says. Now let's see what we've got here. You can see right away 108, 110, 12. And that's about it. So 112 or so is the highest we can get on the top of the charger. And now we'll turn it over and we'll see if it's any hotter on the back. And 112 is honestly very low. Some of the MacBook, the standard MacBook chargers from Apple, they tend to get up to like 150, 160 even. They can get very hot. This is even cooler on this side. I can see 95, 96 degrees, nothing worse than that. So that's actually really impressive. Probably means that it's over-engineered, or at least properly engineered, where they don't have to worry about overheating. We'll just check the temperature here on the tip of the charger, just where it goes into, and you can tell this whole Surface Pro 3 is quite warm. You can see up here where the heatsink for the processor is. It's like 110, 111 degrees. And we'll check down here, and we can see 103, 104 or so. So no worse than the top of the screen, so that's good. There's no strange heating anomaly around where the charge port goes in, or on that that adapter, the tip of the adapter for the charger. So that's pretty good. Now let's find out though if it charged. So let's see here. I can probably do it right here, and go ahead and click down here. Okay, so it's actually not charging. Interesting. So it's up to 66%. Like I said, it started around 60. So it has charged a little bit. It's charged very slow, but it looks at least like this is drawing so much energy, this game, that the tablet's unable to charge. So that's a little disappointing, although I don't know how that compares to the standard one. So let me go grab the original charger right now, which is still broken. I haven't fixed it yet. However, if you push it in, it sort of works. So I'm assuming that we can find out pretty quickly if it's charging or not. So actually, right now it is charging. So you can see it went from 66 not charging to just 66%, and it is charging. You can see the little icon there. That's probably because we jumped out of Civ. Once we jump back into it, it'll just move around a little bit. I'm assuming it'll go back to not charging as the game becomes more demanding in the foreground. Okay, so here is the broken original charger. This is the original Microsoft Surface Pro 3 charger. Also 36 watts. And I am going to unplug. So let's just take one more look at this one real quick. And we can confirm that it is charging slowly. So it is charging, but it's charging very slowly. And then now it says not charging. Okay. So we can see here that with this third-party adapter, it's alternating. Under a heavy load, it's alternating between charging and not charging. So we'll go ahead and unplug that, and then we will plug in this, and we will hope that it works, or I can get it jerry-rigged enough so that it works. Okay, so it is working right now. I'm going to try not to move it, and we will see if it charges even on this load. So what we'll do right now, this is tricky, it's because I have to hold it a certain way so it doesn't stop charging. The adapter, this is again because there's a frayed wire here and I'm holding it so that it doesn't lose continuity. So we'll move around a little bit in the game here. And we have an archer that needs orders, so we will send this archer over here. See what else is going to go on. We have researched calendar, that's pretty cool. And a golden age has dawned. Great. Let's see if it's still charging. And it is indeed charging. It's up to 67% again. So as you could see earlier, it was down to 66%. And that was just from having it unplugged for a minute or two. So what we're going to do now is we'll just wait a little bit. We'll just wait a few minutes, I guess, and see if it's still charging or not. So this is with the original Microsoft adapter, and both the third-party and the Microsoft adapters are both rated at 36 watts maximum power output. And let's see with this load. I said I was, even for the other adapter, I just let Civ run in the foreground. I wasn't really interacting with it much. It seems to be enough of a load just running and rendering. So let's give it a few minutes, and I'll either time-lapse this or I'll just cut it and come back like 5 minutes later, and we'll see if it's still charging or not. So it's at 67% now. We'll give it maybe 4 or 5 minutes and then see where we're at. Alrighty, so we are closing in on 10 minutes. It's actually probably been a little bit more than 10 minutes because I didn't start the stopwatch right when I started charging it with this original Microsoft charger. It's probably more like 11 or 12 minutes at this point, but close enough. Before I run out of recording room on this card, let's see how we're doing. It is indeed still charging. It's hard to see the light with the camera light on, but it is indeed still charging, so that's good. The adapter is still working. It's the original one that I still have to fix. And let's take a look. It was at 67%. It is now at 70. It was actually down to 66 when we started charging. So what this means is it appears at least like the original adapter, so the original Surface adapter from Microsoft, does in fact charge the device quicker when you're under a load. So the $12.50 adapter does not charge, or it charges very, very slowly, and then doesn't charge, and then charges slowly. It seems to alternate between not charging and trickle charging when the tablet is under heavy load, whereas the Microsoft adapter might be able to output that little bit of extra power. So what we should do real quick, actually, we are at 20 minutes, and it's still recording. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the OmniCharge real quick. So 34.35, 35.27, 34.9, 35.2, 34.9. So, and there's some, of course, there's some inefficiency. There's some losses, so it doesn't mean that you're actually getting 35 watts to the tablet. But the tablet's drawing at least, I'd say, around 30 watts right now. So Next, what we'll do is we'll unplug the broken official Microsoft adapter, and we'll go ahead and plug in our $12 adapter into the OmniCharge, and we'll see what this one draws. We'll get the iPhone out of the way now, we don't need it. And it is magnetic too. I assumed it was, but I didn't really notice that at first during the unboxing. So we'll see here what this draws. Here it goes, 13, 14, 29, 30, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this screen or not. I'm not sure if it'll focus on it. So I'll just read out what it is. That way, let's see what we can see. If we can get that to focus or not. There we go. So therein lies the difference. This adapter is outputting 30, so it's drawing 30, around 30, 29, 30. So it's drawing around 30 watts, whereas the other one was drawing around 35. So that means that if the official Microsoft one was outputting maybe 30-ish watts to the tablet, this one's probably outputting 25 or so. So assuming similar efficiencies. So the fact that this is sending 5 watts less to the tablet is why this one is trickle charging it or not charging it, while the official Microsoft adapter was charging it. So that's just a cool little experiment I wanted to do, and potentially determine why this adapter doesn't get hot. It doesn't get as hot because it's not, dealing with as much power. And it also doesn't charge the tablet under heavy load because it's not outputting as much power. So it's probably not it's not actually a 36 watt. That's the conclusion, is I guess that this cheap $12 adapter isn't really a 36 watt charger. It's probably more like a 25 to 30 watt charger, I would guess, maximum. But for $12.50, I still think it's a pretty good deal, just because it's so much cheaper than the official ones. You don't get the USB port, but you do get a decently built charger that doesn't get hot, isn't a fire hazard, and does appear to work pretty well. If you're going to be doing day-to-day tasks, if you're going to be doing a lot of just like, word processing and emails and PowerPoint and that sort of thing with this, and even a little, heavier stuff like Photoshop or whatever, this adapter will probably serve you really well. If you are playing a lot of games, if you're doing stuff that's maxing out the Surface Pro, then perhaps it's not the one for you, because it's going to not be able to keep up with the demand of charging a battery and providing that much power at one time. So those are my updated impressions on the $12.50, $12.99 Surface Pro 3/4 charger. If you enjoyed watching this video, I ask that you please like it and please consider subscribing to the channel. I do a lot of tech related stuff, and I'd enjoy for you guys to come along for the ride. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in a new video soon.